The Airbnb that I did stay in, it did come with a driver, so I will link her information. There is a lot of stigma around traveling to Colombia, and don't go to those spots. But hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lachey, and here I do all kind of vlogs. So entrepreneur, lifestyle, traveling, and really my day-to-day with working a 9 to 5, as well as trying to be a content creator, as well as owning a business. So if that is something that you're interested in, make sure to subscribe. In this video, I will be giving you 10 things that you should know before traveling to Medellin, Colombia. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and let's get right into it. The first thing you should know before leaving, make sure to download the Google Translator app. In Colombia, they do only speak Spanish. There is very few people that you will run into that speak English. Therefore, you are going to have to communicate via Google Translator. For example, my Airbnb host, they did not speak English, and so I did have to communicate with them via the Google Translator app. But then also getting in different Ubers, they did not, and as well as going to the restaurants, a few of the restaurants did not have a menu that was in English. And so with the Google Translator app, you are able to hover your phone over the menu, and the Google Translator will actually transfer those Spanish words into English. That way you know exactly what you are ordering. So that's the first thing. Make sure to download Google Translator. Number 2, make sure you do a currency exchange before you leave the airport. I do have a friend who's been staying in Colombia for about a year, and he did advise us to get it from the airport compared to going to an ATM or anything like that, because the ATM will give you less than what you are actually supposed to get. But also, there was a few restaurants that I went to that they were not accepting American dollars, because I was out there for 5 days. So I did end up running out of Colombian pesos. And the first restaurant I went to, I tried to use American dollars and they did not accept it. So I did use my credit card at that restaurant and a few other restaurants. But you also don't want to use your debit or credit card just with anybody. Like if you're going, to get like little souvenirs from a little shop or something like that, you don't want to chance it. So it's best for you to have Colombian pesos, because again, you don't want to get anywhere and let's say their card reader isn't working. Number 2, make sure you do that currency exchange, okay? Number 3, you should be very observant when you are out traveling in Colombia. There are a lot of bikers that ride around and they will snatch your phone. They will snatch your camera. So when I was walking around and recording, I literally had my phone close up to me. You just want to make sure that you don't have your camera just sitting out super far away from you or your phone. You kind of just want to keep it like right here in distance. And as you see people walking by, or as you see the bikers driving by, you kind of just want to bring it closer to you. Number 4, going along with being careful and being observant when you are recording, whether it's on your phone or your camera, you will see a lot of Colombians actually walking around with small purses that they hold in the front, or fanny packs. They do not really walk around with just like your shoulder purse or like your hand purse. A lot of them do have either fanny packs or they do have the crossbody bags. And for me, with seeing a lot of Colombians walking around with crossbody bags, I was like, let me stop and buy me a crossbody bag. And then after, researching and looking a little bit more into it as well, they will try to pickpocket you or snatch your bag. So you want to make sure that you do have a crossbody bag that you kind of just keep close to your heart, literally. Number 5. So going to a lot of tourist spots, that is the area that you do want to stay in, just because you just want to be around tourists to feel a little bit more safe. Of course, you can go outside of that. But what I will say that I've noticed is a lot of, well, not a lot. I'll say half of the tourist spots, they had great prices, very cheap. But the most popular tourist spots, they were expensive. They were very expensive. For example, we went to Provanza. which is it's literally like 10 blocks of nothing but different bars, different clubs, and everything. And when I tell you for just one drink, it was $20. Those is U.S. prices. And so I said, I got to get out of this area. I came to Colombia to save and spend and still enjoy myself. So you just want to be a little bit, I mean, unless you want to splurge, go ahead and splurge. But if this is a vacation where you're like, you want to enjoy the vacation, but then you also want to be able to save a little bit and not spend as much, just be prepared. If you go to very known tourist areas, they are going to be pretty pricey. Like I said, a drink was $20, just one drink. So keep that in mind. Number 6, make sure to download the currency app. Although you are going to be paying in Colombian pesos, just to make sure that is a good price that they gave you, I like to convert it into American dollars or US dollars, just to make sure that, again, it is a good price. They're not trying to charge me more just because they do know that I am from, America or the US. Colombia, it's actually cheap. And so you just want to make sure that, again, you're getting the correct price that they either told you or that you kind of expect in the ballpark. Number 7, I will say Uber is extremely cheap. So when you are trying to get around, go ahead and get an Uber driver. Literally, to get like 15 minutes away, the Uber drive will literally only be like $3. Like, Uber is super cheap. But again, with Uber, they do not speak English. Out of the few that I did get in when my driver wasn't able to drive me around, they were super cheap, but again, they did not speak English, and so we did have to use a Google Translator. What I will say with getting an Uber driver is, once you find that one Uber driver that you feel is a good Uber driver, continue to use them. Continue to use them, because for me, whenever I travel out of the country, I love to have a local to drive me around. There has not been one country I've been to so far where I didn't have a local person driving me around. The Airbnb that I did stay in, it did come with a driver, so I will link her information. If you guys just reach out and ask me, I can definitely provide you with her information. She is a local, so therefore she was able to show us around to places where we did not have to pay, because she's a local, and so she's aware. She was able to tell us what to do, what not to do, what areas to stay away from. And she was just a good person to have to make my vacation and my trip even more safer. So I was super excited that our Airbnb did come with her. From now on, as I travel to Colombia, she will be my driver. I still keep in contact with her to this day, because she was such a sweetheart, you guys. Even one day, we went out and she came out to enjoy with us. She came out to kick it with us and have some drinks, and it was super, super fun. So if you guys do go to Medellin, Colombia, and you need a driver just so you can feel much safer, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll provide you with her WhatsApp information, and then of course communicate with her just to let her know, like, hey, there are some people that's going to come out there and use you. But she was awesome. So if you don't take that route and you just use Ubers, make sure, again, that once you find that one Uber driver that was good, try to keep them for the whole vacation that you're out there. So again, you can find local things to do and local foods to eat. There's nothing like having a local person, you guys, show you around to their country. Number 8, if you are doing solo traveling, or even if you're going with your friends and you want to stay in the most common area for tourists, you want to stay in Poblado. Poblado is going to be where everything is. Good restaurants, the nightlife, literally like walking distance, just depending on what area you're in. That is going to be the safest place for you to stay as a tourist. So make sure when you're looking up them Airbnbs or your hotels, you want to stay in the Poblado area. Number 9, if you are going to Colombia and it is kind of like a vacation, but then also a working, you're actually going to enjoy for vacation, but you also have to work. Like me, for example, I did go to Colombia for 5 days, and I was actually working for 3 of those 5 days, or 2 of the 5 days that I was out there. Surprisingly, Colombia have a lot of co-working areas. There are a lot of people that are working in other countries or work in America, but yet they stay in Colombia. So I think that may be the reason why they actually have a lot of co-working areas, because I was actually very surprised that that was the first country that I've been to where literally it'll have the name of the restaurant or the name of the place, and then right underneath it, it says co-working. So if you are someone that is traveling but also work while you travel, be sure to look up co-working areas, co-working places in Colombia. There was a lot, surprisingly. Like, I was very shocked. I did go to 2 while I was out there, but that's just another thing. If you're a type of person that is traveling, but also working, be sure to check those out. And the tip thing, last but not least, if you've never been to Colombia and really Medellin, because that's the only place I've been to, go ahead and go there. Please do. It is so beautiful. The people are so nice. Even though a lot of the people do not speak, even though a lot of people don't speak English, I appreciate how they wanted to understand English and learn English. It made me want to understand and learn Spanish more, which since then I've actually downloaded an app to help me learn a little bit more Spanish, because there are other countries that I am going to travel to that you do need to know how to communicate and speak Spanish. But if you've never been, you guys, please go. If you don't take nothing from this video, take this. There is a lot of stigma around traveling to Colombia and other countries as well. However, what I have to say about that is, yes, Colombia may be dangerous, but America is very much dangerous. Other countries are dangerous. There is not going to be not a city, not a state or country that you go to that was not deemed as dangerous. Everywhere you go, there are going to be dangerous areas. There's going to be dangerous spots that you should not go to. And don't go to those spots. But that does not mean not to travel to that country. Just be smart, be very observant, take all the precaution that you need, stay in the tourist areas. If we continue to watch all of these movies and these shows and listen to people about what we should and shouldn't do when it comes to traveling, you will not travel anywhere. If you are from America, like I am from America in the US, every state in America has a dangerous spot. That don't mean you shouldn't go and travel. That don't mean that you probably shouldn't stay there. That just means that you should stay away from it. All right. So that is the 10th thing that I have for you, is that Colombia is very beautiful. The people are very nice. The food is very good. And if you have not traveled, but you've been thinking about travel, take that trip. Okay. And even if it is somewhere else outside of Colombia, but you've heard it was dangerous, take that trip. Just stay where the tourist is. Don't go where you don't got no business going. Just think about where you're from in America. If you're from America, think about where you're from. Think about the dangerous areas where you're from that you just won't travel. It's the same thing. Take that trip. All right. That's the last that I have for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you did, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the post notifications so every time I upload, you're already aware. All right. But see you guys.